We know that you've been fighting, the best of the best, for some years now. But this fight is more like a fun fight, as the people would say. How do you stay motivated, or how do you motivate yourself to going into this fight?
For me, it's a real fight. Yes, Rico not a good boxer, but it's okay, fun fight, no problem.
Because I know they have their doubts in how I'm gonna be performing during this fight, and I'm gonna be standing right across of probably one of the best heavyweight boxers ever. And how is this kickboxer gonna look? So I feel really responsible to look as good as possible, and that's why Peter Fury is going to be in my corner, as well as my trainer Dennis and the normal team that we have. But we gotta look as good as we can.
How much longer would you say you have in the sport of boxing? How much more do you have to achieve?
3.
3 years.
No, not 3 years. Not 3 years. 3 fights. I want a next fight with who winner? Daniel Dubois and maybe Wardley. Listen, Rico. This is first. Second, it's a who win.
Wardley or Dubois?
Wardley Dubois.
You can't see Dubois again.
Yeah,
Though.
and third fight, it's my friend Greedy Belly Tyson Fury.
So they say, okay, what's the next best thing? Let's go to Oleksandr Usyk. And so that's how this whole thing got made. So in reality, we made the Rico Verhoeven versus Oleksandr Usyk fight. Thank you very much. But the point is, what I've seen over the last couple of days is that despite the fact that it's kickboxing, and I knew this, I think we all knew this, there is much more cohesion and unity between the MMA kickboxing world and as opposed to the boxing kickboxing world. Because I've been blown away by the disrespect that has been shown to Rico Verhoeven. Am I sitting here and saying he's going to beat Oleksandr Usyk? No, of course I'm not saying that. Oleksandr Usyk is arguably the best fighter pound for pound.
Ukrainian champion Oleksandr Usyk has at last broken silence regarding his looming clash against Rico Verhoeven, and this time he refused restraint. During a fresh conversation, the undisputed king emphasized that while many label it a spectacle, he remains fully locked in. Usyk then delivered a pointed warning aimed at Rico about what might unfold when they finally enter the arena. This is exactly how Usyk described the encounter and what he intends to unleash very soon now.
So what do you make of the fight between Oleksandr Usyk and Rico Verhoeven?
I mean, I think Rico's getting rolled off.
Did you come across him with Fury's gym?
Listen, I've been training with Rico for 10 years, so I'm obviously pretty Rico biased. Rico's a good friend of mine. But he's a big man. He's had a lot of fights. Fair enough that he's fighting a different sport. But he can, like, if he hits him, could be over. Do I think that Rico's a better boxer than Usyk? Absolutely not. I'm not saying that at all. But I think that he's getting rolled off and he's definitely got a chance of winning.
Tom, do you expect...
Usyk emphasized again that he remains fully committed to this bout. Even though others describe it as an entertaining crossover contest, he explained that from his perspective, it remains a genuine battle, and he is getting ready in the exact manner he consistently. Music follows. Meanwhile, he admitted the gaps separating them as fighters. From his standpoint, Rico lacks the identical ring foundation shared by elite heavyweights he normally faces. Still, that never alters how he prepares for competition. His focus stays straightforward. Usyk works correctly, remains focused, and when he steps inside the ropes, he completes the task cleanly without hesitation at all times today, right now, no matter what.
Pyramids, I think it's going to be a crazy spectacle against Rico Verhoeven. What are you expecting?
Listen, Mike, I'm not expecting because I training.
Usyk, we know that you've been fighting, the best of the best, for some years now. But this fight is more like a fun fight, as the people would say. How do you stay motivated, or how do you motivate yourself to going into this fight?
For me, it's a real fight. Yes, Rico not a good boxer, but it's okay, fun fight, no problem.
He then shifted toward what follows beyond the Rico matchup, and that is where his true attention clearly appears to be. Usyk explained this bout serves only as the opening move before the closing chapter of his journey. Another notable point he raised involved the rising heavyweights that fans continue bringing up as future rivals. When Moses Itama's name surfaced, Usyk immediately dismissed that possibility. His belief is that Itama remains extremely young and still early along his path, and he finds no purpose in stepping in to harm a fighter still shaping his future. In his words, he is only aiming for a handful of remaining bouts before stepping away. The immediate goal after Rico is facing the victor between Daniel Dubois and Fabio Wardley. That contest is the one he directly identifies as the next real test. After that, he brought up one final opponent he desires before leaving the sport behind, and that is Tyson Fury once more.
How much longer would you say you have in the sport of boxing? How much more do you have to achieve?
3.
3 years. 3 fights, 3 years?
No, not 3 years. Not 3 years. 3 fights.
Three more fights. Will any of, so you mentioned the winner of Wardley and Dubois, and many people, including on this show, have said whether or not he's ready, we are interested in you and Itama. Do you think Itama could be ready to fight you before you say goodbye?
No, I not wanna fight with Itauma because it's young guy. I not wanna break this guy like me.
What about Ajit Caballero? Is he on your radar? Is he part of that hit list of your final 3 fights?
Listen, Rico, this is first. Second, it's a who win.
Wardley or Dubois?
Wardley, Dubois.
You can't see Dubois again,
Yeah.
though.
Rico Verhoeven revealed that while analyzing Usyk, he quickly understood why the man has remained nearly impossible to overcome for so long. He pointed out that Usyk operates with calculated precision and is constantly anticipating moves ahead, almost like someone playing chess, while others are left responding too late. That is something Rico genuinely admires because it mirrors how he handled kickboxing throughout his own journey. He described how facing the same rivals repeatedly forced him to evolve, refine his approach, and make adjustments every single time. And he feels that same mentality could play a crucial role in this matchup as well. So his attention is not limited to physical training alone, but also maintaining mental clarity and continuously sharpening his skills throughout the entire preparation phase leading into the fight itself.
He beats everyone, and he beats them twice, and he beats them better the second time around. Do you see holes in his game when you watch him?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely see some holes, but he's playing chess while everybody's playing checkers.
Yeah.
And that's, yeah, to be honest, that's what I love to see, because for me, that's how I approached kickboxing as well, and my opponents, because I also fought like multiple guys like 2 or 3 times, and just keep doing it and keep beating them in a better way, and becoming a better version of yourself, and staying focused and staying mentally strong and resilient. And that's exactly what he does. So yeah, it's a huge challenge, Ariel. It's a huge challenge, and I'm crazy excited about it.
He further made it obvious that he fully recognizes how massive this obstacle truly is, knowing he will be facing one of the greatest heavyweight boxers in history. Rico is aware that many are questioning how a kickboxer will perform inside a boxing ring against someone like Usyk, and that very doubt is what fuels his sense of responsibility to deliver. That is a major reason he began his preparation early and surrounded himself with seasoned boxing experts, including Peter Fury. The objective is to get ready the right way and ensure he appears as powerful and composed as possible once the moment of the fight finally arrives.
Do you feel like you have to prove Turkey right? Like, because when Turkey did that video, he said, hey, blame it on this guy if you don't like the fight. Like, do you feel pressure to prove him right that this was a fight worth making?
100%. 100%. Yeah. I think it's something that is not just for him, for His Excellency, or for Jason, but also just for everybody, just for the whole boxing world, because I know they have their doubts in how I'm gonna be performing during this fight, and I'm gonna be standing right across of probably one of the best heavyweight boxers ever. And how is this kickboxer gonna look? So I feel really responsible to look as good as possible. And that's why Peter Fury is going to be in my corner, as well as my trainer Dennis and the normal team that we have. But we got to look as good as we can, and that's why I'm so happy that I already started training before than just like now, like, oh, I'm gonna go blank into this fight. Training for 12 weeks and let's see what happens.
Frank Warren did not seem impressed at all by the idea of Oleksandr Usyk facing Rico Verhoeven. He made it obvious that these crossover bouts are not something he supports. From his perspective, there are already leading contenders lined up within the heavyweight division, and he believes those matchups deserve priority. He mentioned that fighters like Usyk Cabello have stayed patient and active, waiting for their opportunity at the championship. So, in his view, the spotlight should remain on legitimate heavyweight challengers instead of introducing someone from a different discipline. At the same time, Warren acknowledged that these kinds of fights still get arranged because of the financial rewards and the attention they generate. He even referenced Tyson Fury taking on Francis Ngannou, which was another crossover scenario. That bout took place due to massive money backing it, and it still managed to create buzz around the sport. So, although he personally is not in favor of these matchups, he understands the reasons they continue to happen.
He's got his fight in Egypt against the kickboxer. After that, he has to defend his WBC title against Usyk Cabello, who's been very patient and he's been active. Fought early, as I said earlier, in January. He has to have that fight. He has to do that fight. If he doesn't do it, then he has to vacate the title or he'll be stripped. And then he can fight one of those guys. Not a problem. They're with us. We can make these fights happen. But the most important thing he needs to focus on, he's got to defend that BC title against Cabello.
What do you think, though, Frank? You must have a view on Usyk fighting a kickboxer.
What do I think?
Yeah.
I don't like all that stuff. I mean, I'm not a big fan of all that stuff, you know.
But from a WBC point of view, that Cabello's been sitting in the wings, deserves his shot.
It's wrong. It's wrong.
Yeah.
He should have been fighting Cabello.
But you put Fury in with Ngannou.
Yeah, I did put him in.
So you've indulged in it?
Sorry?
You've indulged in it?
I've indulged in something where some serious money was offered for a fight for a lot of money. And as I said at the time, it would be exciting, and it was exciting.
Tom Aspinall leaned toward Usyk coming out victorious in this matchup. He explained that even though he knows Rico extremely well and has spent years training alongside him, the gap in boxing experience is difficult to overlook. Rico is a world-class striker in kickboxing and without question brings real danger. But Usyk has dedicated his entire career to facing elite boxers and figuring out those exact challenges inside the ring. Because of that, Tom's perspective was that Usyk's technical ability, footwork, and overall experience should enable him to dictate the pace and ultimately secure the win.
Yourself, what do you make of the fight between Oleksandr Usyk and Rico Verhoeven?
I mean, I think Rico's getting wrote off.
Did you come across him looking at Fury's gym?
Listen, I've been training with Rico for 10 years, so I'm obviously pretty Rico biased. Rico's a good friend of mine. But he's a big man. He's had a lot of fights. Fair enough, they're fighting a different sport. But he can, if he hits him, it could be over. Do I think that Rico's a better boxer than Usyk? Absolutely not. I'm not saying that at all. But I think that he's getting wrote off and he's definitely got a chance of winning.
Tom, do you expect
Fabio Wardley did not seem particularly impressed when the matchup between Oleksandr Usyk and Rico Verhoeven was mentioned. His response closely echoed what many within boxing were thinking when the announcement first surfaced. From his perspective, when a champion like Usyk enters the ring, the expectation is that he faces another active professional boxer, someone who has been competing in the same discipline and climbing through the rankings. Instead, this contest came across as somewhat underwhelming to him.
Yeah, look, I think it was the same as kind of the rest of the boxing world. It was quite underwhelming. I even said it myself, I understand that he's kind of earned the right to do what you want, but I at least expected it to be some sort of active boxer, someone of some, not to say, I don't actually know much about Verhoeven in terms of a kickboxer, of what his quality level is, but what I'm saying is I expected it to be someone of a decent caliber of a of a professional boxer, but if it's not, then fine.
He also highlighted that for many observers, the real issue isn't just the matchup itself, but the standard of competition involved. Wardley openly admitted that he hasn't tracked Rico Verhoeven's kickboxing journey closely, so he refrained from making judgments about him as an athlete. But from a boxing perspective, the expectation is always music that a reigning champion defends their title against someone who has proven themselves within the professional ranks and climbed the ladder through actual bouts. That's why the announcement felt shocking to him. Meanwhile, Adola examined the clash between Usyk and Rico primarily through the lens of boxing's integrity and, more specifically, the significance of the WBC championship. His focus wasn't necessarily on whether Usyk would emerge victorious or suffer an upset, but on how the narrative surrounding the fight was initially presented and then abruptly altered, creating confusion and stirring debate. At first, it appeared this would be a special exhibition-style event, akin to other crossover spectacles where championship belts aren't truly contested or at risk. He went on to stress that the WBC belt has historically been considered one of the most prestigious honors in boxing, its reputation painstakingly built over decades by legendary fighters who defended it against serious, proven challengers. Allowing a champion to now face someone transitioning from another sport, in his opinion, risks eroding that legacy and sends a potentially damaging signal to fighters diligently progressing through the ranks to earn a legitimate title opportunity. If an outsider like Rico can suddenly bypass the system and compete for the belt, it raises uncomfortable questions about the consistency, credibility, and governance of the championship itself. In the end, opinions are divided. Some argue that Usyk's refined technique, unmatched boxing IQ, and extensive experience inside the ring will simply overpower Rico, while others believe Rico's imposing size, raw power, and years of elite striking could lead to unexpected moments, surprises, and chaos when the fight actually begins. Either way, the matchup is highly unusual, unpredictable, and layered with tension, leaving fans on the edge of their seats, curious to witness exactly how it unfolds inside the ropes, who will assert dominance, and whether Usyk will handle business as he always does, or if Rico could shock the boxing world and rewrite expectations entirely.